Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Guntur Medical College, Department of Anatomy. In this dissection video, we will see the gross anatomy of the stomach. So what I am holding is the dissected stomach specimen. So first we have to know the two ends of the stomach. So there are two ends, cardiac end and pyloric end. How the students can identify is this pyloric end will be thicker than the cardiac end. So first they have to identify the two ends, cardiac end and pyloric end. Which end is thicker? That is the pyloric end. And they have to see two borders. This is one border and this is the another border. So this border is very small compared to this border. So it is called lesser curvature and this is called greater curvature. So you have to hold, how to keep the stomach in the anatomical position. We have to keep like this, cardiac end above, pyloric end below, and the lesser curvature towards the right side and the greater curvature towards the left side. So that's the way to keep the stomach in the anatomical position. So we will see the two ends, two margins first. So this is the cardiac end. In the living, it is present. Yes, this is the cardiac end to the behind the left 7th costal cartilage, 2.5 centimeter behind the left 7th costal cartilage. If you see the pyloric end, it is present 1.25 centimeter from the midline, that is to the right side, opposite the lower border of the L1 vertebra. Can you understand the shape of the stomach? So the shape of the stomach varies. In the cadaver, it is sickle shape. So the broader end should be above than and the narrower end should be below. In the living, it is called as J shape, and in the obese it is hypersthenic, and in the very lean individual it is sthenic. That means the verticality of the J varies according to the obesity of the individuals. So that is about the shape. If you see the contents or the capacity of the stomach, it varies according to the age. In the adults, it is 1 liter to 1.5 liter. So all the details of the stomach we have given the separate video in our channel. Only dissection part we will see in this. So we have seen the cardiac end and the pyloric end, and this is the lesser curvature. The most dependent part of this lesser curvature will be called as incisura angularis. This lesser curvature is, we have removed this is the part of the lesser momentum. So the lesser momentum is, this is the lesser momentum which has been attached to the liver and the stomach, so which contains the anastomosis of the left gastric and the right gastric vessels. So that is about the lesser momentum. If you see the greater curvature, it is starting from the cardiac orifice. So this is cardiac orifice. It arches above and backwards, forming the fundus of the stomach, then downwards, then reaching the pyloric orifice. If you see, it is 3 to 5 centimeters more, 3 to 5 times more than the lesser curvature. So it gives major attachment to this greater curvature, gives attachment to the greater momentum. So this is the part of the greater momentum which has been attached to the transverse colon. In the uppermost part, it will be giving attachment to the gastrosplenic ligament and the gastrophrenic ligament. So in the uppermost part of the greater curvature. So we have finished two ends, cardiac end and pyloric end, two margins, lesser curvature and the greater curvature. The greater curvature contains, if you dissect carefully, you will be seeing the anastomosis of the gastroepiploic vessels. Do you know why these vessels are called epiploic? Epiploon means momentum. So it is supplying stomach and momentum. So they are called as gastroepiploic vessels. So these are the two borders we have seen. So when you keep this like this, what that part we are seeing anterior, this is the antero-superior surface and this is the postero-inferior surface. So this antero-superior surface, in the living, if you see, this part will be related to the liver. So if I keep like this part, cardiac orifice including the lesser curvature will be related to the liver, and this side it will be related to the diaphragm, and outside the diaphragm costal cartilages and the ribs. If you see this, leaving this part, this triangle part, so here is liver I have told, here is diaphragm, this triangle part which is coming in direct contact with the anterior abdominal wall like this. So this part is called as the gastric triangle. So if you have any obstruction in the esophagus, this part which is not covered by any viscera, so that you can put the tube from the skin of the anterior abdominal wall directly into this gastric triangle to bring the gastric opening outside, that is called as gastrostomy. So this part you should know, this is the gastric triangle. So if you see the postero-inferior surface, so this surface in the living you should think that it is like this lying down on so many structures. So that structures will form the stomach bed. Stomach bed is from the upper part, it will be related to the left crest of the diaphragm like this. So here is the left crest of the diaphragm. Then in this part we will have the left suprarenal and anterior surface of the left kidney and the tortuous splenic artery running like this. Then the anterior surface of the pancreas and in the lower part transverse mesocolon. So this is related to the lesser sac. The student should understand what you are telling. All these relations are separated from these structures by the lesser sac. So these are the relations I have told clearly. Here the left crest of the diaphragm, here the left suprarenal and anterior surface of the left kidney, here the splenic artery and the pancreas and the transverse mesocolon. So all these structures form the stomach bed. So we have seen the relations of the two surfaces. Now we will see the two parts of this. So if you draw two imaginary lines, one from this cardiac orifice and one from this, as I was telling, the most dependent part of the lesser curvature is called incisura angularis. So again here if you draw the line, two imaginary lines, the part above the first imaginary line will be called as the fundus, and the part between the two imaginary lines will be called as the body, and the part below the imaginary line will be called as the pylorus, which will be divided again into pyloric antrum and the pyloric canal. So these are the three subdivisions of the stomach. So if you see this fundus, when you are percussing means like tapping in the living, this fundus will be always filled with air. So that will be the tympanic on percussion. So that space will be called as the trough space. So boundaries of the trough space are the above here is the diaphragm, and here is the costal margin, left costal margin, and this side is the liver and this side is the spleen. So this space, when you palpate from the skin of the anterior abdominal wall and the thoracic wall, which will be tympanic on percussion, that will be called as the trough space. And more theoretical about the arterial supply, venous drainage, you see the other video in our channel. But if you are asked which is the principal artery of the stomach, left gastric artery, which is the direct branch of the celiac trunk, which supplies upper 2/3 of the stomach, is supplied by the left gastric artery. I hope I have covered more dissection points of the stomach: cardiac end, pyloric end, lesser curvature, greater curvature, anterosuperior surface, postero-inferior surface, and three parts or three divisions: fundus, body, and the pylorus. So with the next dissection video in the next any abdominal organ, we will see in the next video. Thank you.